Hello again, or if you've just joined us, welcome to the Decanting Club. This week's wine is a Frascati, Rome's local white, from the Colli Albani, the volcanic hills just to the southeast of the city. So close, in fact, they're in danger of being swallowed up by Rome's urban sprawl. It's been famous since ancient Roman times, when they called it Albanum, and it was one of the best wines they had. This is probably the best one imported into Britain at the moment, but sadly that's not saying very much. Most modern Frascati is pretty dire. But it was once great, and with this one we hope to show you why. The first thing that's very promising about this is this lovely golden colour. The old books describe Frascati as a golden wine. Most of it these days isn't. It's very pale. It's made from the wrong grapes and cold fermented off the skins. Short-lived, transparent, see-through, nothing like its former self. This one is made from the right grapes. Frascati is a blend, but the key grapes are the Malvasias, and this one is more than 75% of them. The Malvasia del Lazio and the Malvasia de Candia. They have golden thick skins full of flavour and aroma and colour compounds. This one, the Malvasias have had 12 hours of cold maceration on the skins at the beginning of fermentation to extract all that lovely goodness from the skins, and that gives it this terrific colour. And that terrific nose. Even though this is not a big nose, it doesn't jump out at you, it's not very intense, but it has depth. It's floral, that's the main thing you notice at first. Chamomile flowers. And there's apples in there, but they're very ripe, golden apples. Citrus notes of lemon peel, and also herbal aroma as well. There's a whiff of sage about this. So lots and lots going on, despite the fact it's not all that intense. It's much bigger in the mouth than it is on the nose. Oh yeah. Big mouth-filling flavours, peachy flavours. It's full-bodied. And there's soft but refreshing acidity. You notice it more on the finish, just enough. But there's a weight and a concentration about that palate. And as you move on into the finish really lasts. I can still taste it now, it's keeping on going. And the peachy flavours are joined by almonds. Just a hint of bitterness. They're more sweet almonds than bitter ones, but a delightful nuttiness about the finish there. Super. That floral nose and the palate weight remind me very much of a white Chateauneuf du Pape, which reminds me of the last wine I said the same thing about, which was the Kozlovich Santa Lucia, which we featured a couple of months ago in May. That too was made from Malvasia, a different member of the family, the Istrian Malvasia. I really wasn't expecting such similarities between them. They're grown a long way apart, and the grape mix is quite different. But this Santa Teresa could be the little sister of that Santa Lucia. This is less intense, but more versatile with food and without, just a sip. This is also unoaked. It's a delightfully old-fashioned wine, and I think this shows what old-fashioned, old-school Frascati is supposed to taste of. It's also got a delightfully old-school understatement about it. It doesn't shout out at you with cold ferment esters or sharp aromatics, and the palate doesn't have pungent flavours or razor blade acidity, but it has a balance and a persistence that are profoundly satisfying. And that persistence means I don't need to go back and take an immediate next mouthful to find out what it tasted of. This is a wine you'll drink more slowly and take more pleasure from without really even realising. It also has a tremendous ability to transport me to Rome, to the courtyard of a trattoria in the sun-dappled light where the waiters are just about to bring out the starters. Saluti.